happens when a person wants to play D&D, but they find the rule set overwhelming? Maybe it's the stats, maybe it's the keyword interaction, maybe it's the nuances of the rules, like the inability to cast a bonus action and action spell on the same turn. There's an option for them now. Son of Oak built a tool called the crossover tool. It's a crossover between D&D 5e and their system, Legend in the Mist. With this tool, you can take your D&D 5e content and use it with the Legend in the Mist rule set. What makes a D&D character different from a Legend in the Mist character? Well, Legend in the Mist chose not to use spreadsheets to represent their characters. Instead, you get 4 lists of words and phrases to illustrate who this person is. I have an example right here. Right, so this person is devoted to their family, they are skilled with a bow, they work as a deer stalker, and they have a spirited personality. That does a lot more to illustrate who this character is beyond being an RPG build. How do you describe your character in D&D? Oh, I'm a battle master fighter human, right? That is so impersonal. And I think that backgrounds don't do enough to illustrate that. And they take up so little of your sheet, you can forget about it. But what happens when you want to make a dice roll? Well, you look at the tags that are relevant and you count them up. Yellow tags give you a bonus, red tags give you a minus. So what would happen if this character wanted to attack with their bow? Well, they'd get a +3 for all of the yellow tags on their second card, skilled with a bow. You're going to take that 3 and add it to the results of rolling 2 6-sided dice. If that total is more than 10, you succeed. If it's less than 6, you fail. If it's 7 to 9, you've succeeded, but something has gone wrong. And I love that flow a lot more than just fail or succeed, because it lets you get a lot more imaginative for what's happening in the scene. Another thing is, this dice roll is the only type of dice roll that exists in the game. So you're not asking yourself, what's the ability check? What's the skill check? What's an attack roll? What's the spell roll? How are spell attack rolls and attack rolls different? There's one type of roll, the action roll, and it handles all actions. That is another point that's going to make this rule set a lot more accessible to some people. Okay, so this is Gabriel. This was a 5e character they made for a campaign that's currently on hiatus. Like I was saying earlier, the information here isn't very diegetic. We're looking at numbers. And what those numbers mean about who Gabriel is, I feel like that's less clear than what Legend Mist has to offer. Kudos to D&D Beyond. I think a good thing they did is creating these tabs so that you can like filter what information you're seeing, so that I think this makes the character sheet a bit more digestible. But again, 5e is not compatible for every type of person, because this is too much for some of my real life friends and it intimidates them, and it's why they don't play ttrpgs. So I use the conversion rules to take my 5e wizard and port them into Legend Mist. So, get all these jazz. You can pick and choose which of these tags you want. Like, you want Archmagician? Sure. You want signature spell? Sure. And you don't have to start from the top and go to the bottom. You can choose any combination of these that you like. Typically you start with 2 yellow and 1 orange, but your DM can allow you to choose more. So your character can have a signature spell immediately at the start of the campaign, and I think that's brilliant. Also, if a monk, you could have deflect missiles from level 1. And another thing I really like is that the descriptions of abilities is so short. Oh, they're short, they're concise, amazing, love that. They also kind of changed Monk somewhat, because now Monk only needs 30 minutes to get their key back. I love that. So yeah, here's Gabriel, Legend in the Mist. A lot more concise, a lot less busy, a lot less numbers. To explain these quests at the bottom, this is how you level up in this game. So let's say your character had a quest that was like, I want to make the best sandwich. Each time your characters take steps to making that sandwich, you would mark a milestone. And when you mark 3, you can then level up. Gain new tags, change your tags, whatever. So yeah, if you're intimidated by making your own character, just know that there are some pre-made characters offered here. There's 2 Dwarven fighters and 1 Elvish wizard. So, thank you for your time.